Hello everybody and welcome back to Path of Exile 2. We're going to be using our Lightning Amazon build today. I believe we can probably do one of these level 14 options. So let's pop this in here. And enfeeble, huh? I don't think that's going to matter much with the Lightning build. So maybe we can pop... That just instantly made this map completely unusable for this particular character. So yay, let's try again. I'm trying to like make sure we're keeping our map sustain up, but okay, I can kind of live with that. Well, might as well put a couple more things in here. I can live with elemental weakness. I think we can be fine with that. This character isn't maxed out on resistances, but it's high enough that, you know, should kind of be okay. We'll give it a try. Our Lightning Amazon build is pretty decent, so we'll see. I want to find something that has, yeah, I want something that's irradiated and something with a boss on it, just so we have the highest chance of getting reasonable stuff. Mineshaft? I think we might do Mineshaft. I don't know. Yeah, I think we might do Mineshaft. Let's try that one. Oh, that's right. Single... Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to reiterate my statement that I think that upping the difficulty and adding all this extra stuff should result in more chances, not fewer. These guys are going to be hard to kill, because they are blue. Okay. We just got to try to be super careful as best we can. Oh, that's the elemental. That's the random elemental debuff. Or no, yeah, elemental debuff. I'm trying to remember what debuff it was. You gotta wait till that 30, man. It seems like there's a massive difference between even 25 and 30 on the old voltaic charge meter. You gotta stay on top of that. You throw these two often and you don't get enough power. You gotta run. Oh, come on! See what I'm talking about? That is what irritates me. They give you one chance, but they don't like mitigate any of the things that have randomness to it. You know, like I don't mind being required to have some skill, but when one random thing just pops in and one-shots you through almost 2,000 hit points worth of, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand, but I'm gonna have to actually sit down and like do some trading with this character because we need more hit points than we have. We really do. Yeah, we're not gonna make it. We're not gonna be able to make it through maps like this with the hit points that we have. I already have my Control Freak Chronomancer up to like over 4,000 effective HP, or just base HP with the energy shield that I have on her. Alright, that takes care of that one. Let's just keep going. I don't know. I know that, you know, if you're just looking at the difficulty perspective, it kind of makes sense to just reduce tries, but you have to keep, oh, like, look at that, my health went all the way down. You have to keep the one-shot and high damage stuff in mind when you're coming up with rules like that. I don't know. I disagree with this idea that players should have to worry about being super careful on what they have on their maps. Like, it should still be reasonable. It should make it more difficult. It shouldn't make certain things impossible or virtually impossible. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mind having things that make it more difficult. But if you're gonna make it to where it can become virtually impossible or just outright impossible to complete a map because of the random things that happen to spawn on it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see that as good game design. I see that as we're just going to throw a bunch of shit out there and hopefully the players like it. No, you got to sit down and do some, like, planning. You got to sit down and do some planning and, you know, play testing and making sure that, you know, certain things that will absolutely... Oops, I was not trying to do that. certain things that will you know, there's certain things that just should not be able to be combined together, just to make sure that, you know, they don't become impossible. Because here's the catch-22, right? Certain players don't want. Oh, what am I doing? Certain players don't want. I gotta focus on this. The players and the developers. What am I trying to say here? I lost track of what I was saying. I know I was talking about something about difficulty for. Certain players want. I've lost track of what I was saying. I'm sorry. I got distracted by trying. I'm rattled on the trying to make sure I don't die because I can't afford to die at all. Oh, that's what it was. I was half-assed trying to talk about map sustain. Is what I'm trying to get to. So they want to make it to where. Ooh. They want to make it to where you have to put. You see what I mean? They want to make it to where you have to put a bunch of modifiers into your map to have any decent chance of getting any kind of map sustain, right? But then they turn right around and make it to where you only get one shot after you dumped all this stuff to make it super difficult, and you only get one shot at it. And it's like, well, how am I supposed to sustain my maps if dumping the things that make it more likely for maps to drop also reduces the chances I'm actually going to finish the map and get through enough of the map to actually get maps back out of it? You see what I'm saying? It's like, I fundamentally disagree with the idea that reducing the number of tries is somehow meaningful. I don't know. I just don't know. So, because we got screwed over on that one, we'll try to do. We're gonna have to try to do a tier 13. I can't do this one because my character is going to be completely nerfed on that. And, I mean, I guess we can try to do this one. We can try to do this one. It's already got 3 suffixes on it, so... Oh, but if I add any more... See, this is the problem. I can't afford to... I need to have a little bit of a buffer. I have to have at least, you know, two or three attempts at this shit. So, I guess we'll go do this Abyss one. See if we can kind of get through it. So, like, it massively discourages you from, you know, going after the max difficulty. And I guess I could kind of be fine with it if you go into one of those ones where you only get one attempt, the maps are just dropping at such a rate that, you know, you're guaranteed to get 2 or 3 just from trying it. You see what I'm saying? That would at least encourage you to go after the harder ones. What bothers me is I go into a map, I get a third of the way through it, and I get one shot by something. I only get the one attempt, and I just got unlucky and didn't get a map out of it, and then I just get nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, the base map drop needs to be a fair bit higher than it is, in my opinion. In my opinion, it needs to be a fair bit higher than it is. We gotta make sure we're bringing up the volt. God. I mean, we're at the right level here. Am I using level 17? Yeah, we're using max level skill abilities. I don't know why we're not slamming into things. I mean, yeah, see what I mean? Like... Well, part of it is, yeah, we need the groups. I don't know, man. It's just... This is the reason why I struggle with this game, because, you know, I like it. I like the... I love the WASD movement. It's the smoothest of the games that I play, I think, as far as, like... I don't know. I can't really pinpoint why the word smooth comes up every time I think about this game in comparison to some of it. Like, Last Epoch feels faster. For some reason, it just doesn't feel as smooth to me. I don't know why. I can't explain it to you. I don't know why it doesn't feel as smooth, but it just doesn't. It just doesn't feel as smooth. I have my washing machine going, and it's shaking my trailer. So if I sound all, whoa, 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 that's why. You gotta multitask in this day and age. Come on, see what I mean? I get stopped, and then that forces me to get hit by a bunch of stuff, and it, you know, it takes control away from my character, and I'm forced to just sit there and take a bunch of damage. Come on, man. My character should be powerful enough at this point that I'm not having to worry about that being a thing as much. Okay. So I'm trying to be super careful. I mean, I know we have extra attempts now, but I don't want to waste them, because as we've seen twice now, you see, I get soft stunned. I'm forced to just sit there as one thing takes down 3/4 of my health, and then I'm forced to just sit there and take another one. There's nothing you can, like, that's not a skill issue. There is nothing I can do when I have a freaking stone charm that is supposed to make me immune to being stunned. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's not a skill issue. You're gonna get hit by stuff. Nobody's perfect. You're gonna get hit by stuff. And if the stuff you get hit by locks you in place for even like a half of a second, when there's a bunch of other shit going on around you, then, you know, that's a design issue. That's not a skill issue. That's just it. Right? Like, they don't allow you to design your character to to build your character around every situation. You have to pick and choose, which means that sometimes you're going to come across enemies you can't put up reasonable defenses against, and that's why you have to design your game. See, and these guys right now, I'm getting stunned in place. I'm getting forced to sit in that stupid fucking beam, the beam that lasts for fucking ever. Right? Like, this is the kind of... Let me out. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. This is why I get irritated, because it's so incredibly frustrating. See, like, this is the like, I know I have another attempt left. Fuck it. I'm done. I'm done. It's not fun. It's not fun when you have no control over the outcome of what's happening. I'm just gonna do a nice little easy mat now, because I need a fucking palate cleanser or something, because this is ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry. Like, I cannot get on board with this idea that, like, just frustrating mechanics somehow make the game worth playing. It doesn't. It really, really doesn't. Challenging gameplay makes the game worth playing. The stuff that we're encountering here is not challenging. It's fucking the same RNG mechanics that you know, really makes the game irritating to deal with. I can sort of live with RNG mechanics in the loot. I can't live with RNG mechanics in the fights. That's not something I should have to deal with. I, as the player, as the hero of this story, should have some kind of reasonable control over the fight. Monsters should not have, like, especially not bosses, especially when they're not bosses and they're not, like even rares, it should just be a bump in the challenge. It should not just be a, oh, we have to stop, we have to completely stop now because we came across something sort of strong. I know. Some people, there's lots of people that are going to disagree with that. I don't care. I don't understand who this game is made for. Sometimes I just don't understand who this game is made for. I mean, what kind of people enjoy a game where you're going to get slammed, all of your forward progress gets completely halted by things that are completely outside of your control? Don't you get enough of that in real life? Why do you need it in your video game? I don't understand that. Life is annoying enough. Why are we bringing it into our video games? The whole point of the video game is to have something fun to do for a while. It's not supposed to be a replacement for the bullshit you have in your life already. I mean, why? Why would you do that? I do not understand. This episode has already devolved into me just hating a lot of bullshit right now. So I'm not even trying to be positive anymore. I don't understand it. I do not understand. Like, if you're the kind of person who thinks that this kind of stuff is okay, then I don't know, man. I don't understand you at all. I don't understand you at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this is the mentality that people have, then you guys really, like, if you are a supporter of this style of thing where, you know, we're just making things difficult for the sake of it being difficult, then you need to get your ass off your fucking computer and go do something in the real world. Put that energy to something that actually means something that's not just a fucking video game. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, if you are seeking a challenge of some sort, you are a retard for being on your video game trying to seek it there. Go out in the real world and do something challenging, because then it actually means something. Stop trying to turn video games and stop trying to turn the video game into a space where you can flex on people, because we don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just seriously. Anybody with the mentality that they want their video games to be like something that they can impress people with, oh, look how good I am. Nobody cares. Literally, 0 people care. Not one person actually cares. You're not doing anything that, like, benefits them in any way. You're only impressing yourself. That's it. Seriously, man. It's just a video game. It's just a video game. And this like, I know I'm going a little too far. I want my video game to have challenge in it, because then it's boring when it's not challenging, right? Like, I get that part of it. But this game does not balance the challenge with, you know, the success that you get out of it. It just doesn't. The fact that you have to have certain builds to have any chance of getting decently into the game is like, it's you know, if you watch me for a while, you know that I just fundamentally disagree with the hardcore mentality when it comes to video games anyway. Like, there are some things where you have to have a hardcore mentality. If you're gonna be a pilot, you know, you kind of have to have a no BS hardcore mentality, because you screw that up and people die. Especially if you're a fighter pilot, you know, you're gonna get yourself killed and you're gonna get shot down and shit. So, you know, there are things in the world that require a hardcore mentality. Sure. Video games are not one of them. You are not cool if you're great at a video game. You're just not. Okay? So, can we please try to focus on games being fun first, challenging later, or challenging as a distant second? Like, I want games that are fun. I don't want games that require a lot of work, and I don't want games that require a lot of fucking banging your head up against the wall, hoping that you're gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just like, this right here, this is at least somewhat fun. You know, it may not be a challenge, but I'm progressing through the map. I'm able to do something. I'm not having to worry about getting one shot every 5 seconds. Like, my cortisol levels are not off the fucking charts right now, because nothing here is able to slam me down. You know, and then when I get to the boss, I'll ramp up my concern level. I think there's a boss in it. Yeah. I'll ramp up my concern level. I'll pay a little bit more attention, because, oh, now I'm fighting something that, you know, should have a decent chance to kill me. But when I'm just running through killing trash and just trying to farm loot, this right here is not the part where I should have to worry about. Okay, well, there we go again. Even on a lower level map with only 2 modifiers, I'm still running into things that are freaking taken. This is what I'm talking about. There should be nothing on a map up until you get to a boss that has the chance of taking away more than maybe like a quarter of your health. Nothing. I should never, when I'm running through this, watch my health bar go from here all the way down to there. Ever. They're white mobs and blue mobs. I mean, seriously. They're white mobs and blue mobs. White mobs and blue mobs, even on relatively weak characters, should never be able to take you down that level of freaking damage. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And this is why I have a love-hate relationship with this game. Because I disagree with the design philosophy. I disagree with the design philosophy. It's a really, really well... It's a really... let's see, what am I trying to say here? It's a very visually appealing game. The base aspects of it, controlling your character, running around, and all that stuff, is, you know, pretty addictive, which is probably why I continue to play it. Right? It's not. It's certainly not the. It's certainly not the. It's certainly not the challenge aspect of it. Because here's the thing. It's not. I'm gonna really like home in on that. On my point that this game isn't challenging. There's very little about this game that is challenging. A challenge implies something that you can reasonably overcome. Right? It's something that you can apply. You can become better at it and start applying strategies, and you learn techniques to mitigate the challenges that you might come across. This game has very little of that. See what I mean? That right there. This game has very little challenge in it. It has a shit ton of RNG in it. It has a shit ton of gambling mechanics in it. And I hate gambling. I have zero interest in gambling. I've never for real gambled a day in my life. Because I don't want to fucking risk. I don't want to put my money on something that's just a complete fucking question mark. That's not fun to me. That's anxiety inducing. That's just anxiety inducing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might get a rush out of the whole gambling mechanic thing, and you know, if they want to have gambling mechanics in the item process, I mean, I disagree with it. I want determinism in my item gathering process. Like, I miss the crafting system from Path of Exile 1. And to be perfectly honest with you, if they put a satisfactory WASD mechanic into Path of Exile 1, I would probably be done with Path of Exile 2 and just exclusively play Path of Exile 1, because it was just a better game. The only reason I don't play it now is just because I'm spoiled on the whole WASD thing, and now I can't be bothered to deal with the mouse clicking thing. So I just don't want to do it anymore. But you know, I mean, there are things about this game, like the gem system is obviously a massive improvement in this version of the game, rather than the one where you have to level up all of your support gems and stuff. Like, okay, so there are certain things about. There are a lot of things about this game that are way better than Path of Exile 1. But just the fact that you have the ability to have some kind of self-determination on grabbing your gear, or in crafting your gear, finding gear, you know, creating the kind of gear that you want, right? That is such a massive benefit that, I'm sorry, in my opinion, the gameplay of Path of Exile 1 ends up being way better, assuming they put, you know, the control scheme that I want. But, like, I don't know. I disagree with the idea that combat in and of itself should have any kind of, like, RNG part to it. And what I mean by that is, like, if white mobs have the capability of, like, like almost one-shotting you, that's RNG. That's not good design. That's not, you know, people failing to build their characters right. White mobs, even a bunch of white mobs, should never have the ability. Oh, that's right. It's one of those much bigger things. White mobs should never have the ability to significantly damage you. You know what I'm saying? They're there to be bullet sponges so that you can gather loot off them. That's what the white mobs are for. That is the whole purpose of the white mob. I should be able to reliably kill any white mob with any build without having to worry about them killing me. So you can disagree with that. I'm sure there's people that are going to. But, you know, why have multiple levels of monsters, multiple classes of monsters, right? If they all do the same amount of damage to you. The whole point is to have tiers of difficulty. White mobs are super easy to kill. Blue mobs are a little bit more difficult to kill, and then, you know, Yellow mobs require you to actually stop what you're doing and pay attention. And then the bosses actually require a little bit of skill and determination to do, right? Like, that's the way it should be on any build, any reasonably put together build, right? Obviously, if you're just randomly, you know, doing this in the skill tree and you don't have any kind of gear at all, then, you know, there needs to be limits, clearly. But, you know, if I as a player am like at least trying to half-ass put together a build on the skill tree, and I'm making sure my resistances are pretty reasonably close to their maxes and things like that, like I should not be getting one shot by mobs that are less than my level.
Hello.
It's all RNG. And look, like, why would I go through, look at this, you see, why would I go through and put more modified? This was a 2 blue map, right? And I got 3 freaking waystones out of that. So it doesn't encourage you to try to go after anything difficult when I'm getting more rewards overall out of going after the easy shit. I don't know. I don't know what else to say other than, like, I know that people, it's the whole illusion of choice thing, right? They put a bunch of stuff on the skill tree, but there's very little thought process that's put into, you know, it does, at least it feels like it. In this entire game, the entire time I've been playing it, it doesn't feel like, you know, you really have any actual options. It feels like they designed the skill tree in a way where you have to follow some kind of a meta idea they had in the back of their head as they were designing it, and you don't have choice. You don't have, like, real options to craft your character in the way that you want to. You have to follow some basic guidelines that are universal across all classes. If you're gonna be a cold damage person, you have to put all your shit into cold, or you're not gonna be effective. You can't be like a jack of all trades. You have to focus on something. Right? You're punished for wanting to try a little bit of everything. That's illusion of choice. When they say you're gonna pick an archetype and you're sticking with that and you can't do anything else because we don't give you enough points, or the things that we add don't provide enough benefit per point that you can try to put a bunch of different things into your, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, and then some people find really cool, powerful synergies that they can work on, and they rip it out because they don't want you to be overpowered. It's like, that's why we play these games. We want to be overpowered. That's kind of the point. People want to go in and rip a boss's face off in 2 seconds. They want that. If they didn't want that, they wouldn't be trying to figure out ways to do it. But whatever. I ranted on enough for 27 minutes. We're going to go ahead and call that an episode. Hopefully you guys had lots of fun listening to me bitch about the game. Hit the subscribe button to help us reach 10,000 subscribers. Make sure you hit that like button. You can also hit those PayPal and Patreon links if you'd like to support the channel outside of the channel memberships that I have, which do give you early access to videos, among other perks. Man, I totally screwed up the end of that. I have like a memorized spiel that I do at the end, and I just totally forgot it. Anyways, thanks for watching. Be sure to come back for the next video. I'll see you then.